Thor here, and I just left the launch. State Line Auxiliary launch is really getting small compared to what it used to be. That's for darn sure. I got some crew on board today. I'm pretty excited about it. I've got Captain Castro here and his wonderful daughter. And today we're going to Lone Rock Beach. So we're gonna show off the conditions at Lone Rock Beach, talk about the fact that the water is now surrounding Lone Rock again, and much, much more.
I'm happy to report the launches are all opening back up, including Wahweap main launch. I've also seen reports that Bullfrog is also open, as well as Antelope. Some launches are still launch at your own risk. However, I have heard reports that the additional launches opening have provided a huge relief to wait times during peak days and hours.
Behind me over there, State Line is opening.
I want to make something clear about this video. Normally I go to these locations with the single intention of collecting data footage, and I do so alone. However, this time would be an exception. In addition to all of that, I intended to invite friends and family, and at times simply enjoy Lake Powell.
So behind me is my friend Rory. He seen me out here, had to say hi. He's a good guy.
I am happy to report that a large amount of navigation hazards going to Lone Rock Beach are submerged again. Many of the numerous islands are now gone. Suffice to say, I had no anxiety about navigational hazards this trip. In many ways, this felt like deja vu. Getting to see things like the first surface boat I covered with water at its stern again was a real eye-opener as to just how far up the water has come.
So that right there, that's Thor's Landing. I've got a video on that, and I'll include a card up there in the corner. That was one of the first places I ever landed in Lake Powell. Pretty cool. Totally overgrown by weeds.
There have been a lot of reports about floating obstacles in the lake right now. Generally, the main bays will be fine. Boats with propellers will be just fine. However, for those of you who own a PWC or jet boats, be cautious.
So behind me, that's Martini Cove. That's a really cool place to go. Still looks like a great place to go. Pretty exciting, but nope, we're going to Lone Rock Beach.
An important thing of note is that a lot of beaches are overgrown with tumbleweeds. Fortunately, Martini Cove was still nice.
It's so weird, I never get to ride. I never get to ride on my boat and enjoy it from like the bow here or anywhere else like that. I'm always stuck at the captain's seat, so it's so nice because George is driving the boat. Good old Castro up there, driving away.
Landing a vessel like a houseboat or cruiser is fine at Lone Rock Beach. However, I would be practicing anchoring out simply because of the numerous wakes from other boats at this location which have damaged my vessel's hull in the past. Another reason I decided to anchor out is due to the fact that it requires significantly less adjustment to compensate for the rising water levels. So I'm waiting on some family members right now. They should be here soon. They're gonna come up with their UTV, their little side-by-side, and we're gonna go run around the beach and get you folks some great footage of the beach, and I'll explain a little bit on what's going on in regards to the off-road scene here at Lake Powell, and we'll go from there. Suffice to say, the off-road park here at Lake Powell Lone Rock Beach is absolutely wonderful this year. Surprisingly, the beach was not as busy as I have seen it in the past because of how incredibly popular this place is and how heavily it is used. There were little to no tumbleweeds here. For those of you who do not know, Lone Rock Beach is a wonderful place where the desert rock meets the desert sand dunes, which gently go down and meet Lake Powell. Numerous activities can be had here, including camping and fishing. As far as I know, any class of off-road vehicle can run here, and it is an open park where you can pick a direction and go. I suppose the ultimate question many people are wondering is, can you drive to Lone Rock? I suppose you could, but you will need some form of amphibian. Lone Rock is alone again. Its moat has returned. Lone Rock Beach connects to a numerous amount of trails if you know where to go. By numerous amounts of trails, I do mean literally thousands of miles worth of trails. They are both challenging, scenic, and the best trails in all of America, in my personal opinion. My best advice is if you want to find some of these trails is to reach out to a local or look them up on my channel. I should also note that even if you do not have an off-road vehicle, it is still very entertaining to watch them here at Lone Rock Beach. I brought my motorcycle on the cruiser but did not get to use it because it requires good weather and no wakes to lower the bike onto the beach, of which neither happened at the same time while I was out there. I think I should also note that if you come to this place, you should be prepared to get stuck. Quite often others will help, but sometimes help can be difficult to receive in this park. Sometimes tow and recovery companies are willing to help, other times not so much. Quite often the bill for recovery can be quite a bit of money. In addition to that, it is not unheard of for people to have to reach out as far as Mesquite or St. George to get a company to recover their vehicle. Keep that in mind if you decide to make the journey here and off-road. The next leg of my journey is probably the most important reason why I came. I was here to find out if I could loop Lone Rock. I will let the video explain the rest. Something really cool that I was able to experience was running my PWC in the bushes. Crazy to think some of these bushes are 13 feet plus tall. They made for an exciting obstacle course for the jet skis, like riding a dirt bike through the trees. This was an unexpected experience that I will never forget. Looping Lone Rock with the skis was an unforgettable experience, but my journey was not over yet. I still needed to loop Lone Rock with my cruiser, but I would hold off for a couple of days and simply enjoy the sights and experience at Lone Rock Beach. During this time, numerous friends, fans, and family visited me. Of course though, I did manage to get some alone time and relax on the boat. Scenes like these really are what Lone Rock Beach is all about, and it would not surprise me if the scenes jog a few memories out of all of us.
National Park is totally stuck. Some deep stuff out here. So I'd like to take a quick moment of your time to ask that you check me out on a platform called Patreon. Patreon's a great way to support individual developers like me, so that way you can help put some extra gas in the tank or something like that. Any help really goes a long ways to making all this possible, so I can continue to make footage for you and do it more often. That's really what it's going to come down to, is being able to do more footage more often. And so it really helps. Again, thank you for your consideration. Link in the description.
So on the final day, I fired up the boat, hoisted up my anchors, and made my way to Lone Rock. The day did not start as planned, as my starter that I had just rebuilt failed, and I had to pull it out, repair it, and put it back in. Fortunately, it worked, and I was able to get my old tired vessel to wake up and get underway. We sauntered slowly towards the goal, the main reason I had come on this trip. There was a bit of anxiety for what I was about to do. My vessel has a 3-foot depth with her prop down. Lake Powell had risen well over a foot a day since I anchored at Lone Rock Beach, so I knew that there was enough water under the boat to make the trip. But sometimes logic isn't comforting.
That's where things are gonna get a little bit sketchy, right over there. So we're already in.
This trip was not only to find out if I could do this, but if I could relive the memory of doing this before on my first time out on Lake Powell with my boat. It was a great memory I wanted both of us to experience again.
13 feet of water. So it's official. I'm on the backside of Lone Rock right now. How cool is that? Haven't been able to do this in a long time. Look at all these weeds. We're sitting in about 12 feet, 10 feet of water, somewhere in that range, but look at all these weeds. Played with the jet ski in these, now I guess I'm gonna go play with the boat in them.
I am not particularly good at displaying emotion, or even talking about it for that matter. Suffice to say, I felt a lot when I made it to the far side of Lone Rock. Memories from my childhood and the first day I captained my vessel around this rock flooded my mind, and suffice to say, it was good.
So it's official. I just looped Lone Rock. I gotta admit, I'm very excited about that. Definitely takes me to a place, an emotional place. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Like all good things, they must come to an end, a bittersweet paradox that is experiencing Lake Powell. As me and my tired old boat made our way back, we were greeted with fine weather and sights of happiness. Some people were just starting their journey on Lake Powell, while others, like me, were ending it. It still boggles my mind that a place like this can exist on this earth. Paradise to say the least. I often say the worst part about Lake Powell is having to leave. This time was no exception. I do look forward to getting back out there with my cruiser, but that might be a while, as I tend to get away from the lake during July. However, on the bright side, I will still be making content, and I will have some other really interesting things going. So make sure you are subscribed and hit the like button so you don't miss a video. So until next time, this is Thor, signing out.